Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday encounter in real life of an aspect. If you're following me right now, as you're fully aware that right now I'm trying to introduce to you all about the drug-free series based on hopefully to address to the teenagers alike as well, pretty much this time around. So hopefully that the messages that I'm sharing with you all will be like an enlightenment and encouragement to you all to basically find out, you know, the signs and symptoms of people that are using and whatnot, and also the lack of basically just being there as their little support network, because we all need the love and support from each other and not to be judged, misread or misunderstood. So no further ado, what I have been covering so far in these series is just a brief overview of an introduction leading into this series, as well as a bit of about the definitions about addiction and whatnot and the like. But you'll soon see as you carry on through this series, if you're watching me throughout sort of thing, hopefully it will gain a better understanding to where I'm leading with this, which I hope will be of good value to you. So I want to just thank some of the ones that have been supporting me so far, that has been sticking around for my channel sort of thing. I appreciate this, and I'm hoping that this year I'll continue to buddy up with people and actually, you know, push on and get to know you as more as people too when I watch your channels, or even hopefully maybe like what someone said to me last night, to collab sort of thing. So in all I do, this is part 8 I think I'm up to, which is called What Does It Mean to Be Codependent? As you know, it's only natural basically to know the fact when someone in your family or a friend basically that does become chemically dependent. However, even though we know that sometimes when it comes down to it, you know, sometimes we get lost in translation or whatnot of what goes on and what goes down, even though some people that are using are good at hiding, you know, their real feelings, their real thought patterns and all that, despite the addiction crisis. I said so many times before that basically you need to understand what goes on around us. As we know, sometimes though, when it comes down to those who are codependent or chemically independent on these drugs, basically it can affect people in different ways, as well as affecting the relationships of others around you, no matter what it may be. As each family member or friend tries to cope, however, basically with the person who's using, they adopt the behaviour to that particular person. What I mean there is basically that, as I said, they can mask off the effect of what they really are like, sort of thing, and hide their true feelings and thoughts, basically to the point where we don't even understand each other or what have you, so they misinterpret it in a way of no going. Even though these people who are at risk, obviously, of the family member or friend or whoever it may be, pretty much, like, they're at risk of becoming codependent. Okay, what I'm meaning here for this definition of what I've researched about being codependent is basically anyone who has let another person's behaviour affect him or her, and who's obsessed with controlling that person's behaviour. For example, I'll illustrate this to you. When another family member may become obsessed with the chemically dependent family members using or drinking, making the user the centre of their waking thoughts or centre of attention, be it whatever it may be. And they'll always be the topic of the conversations of, obviously, on the breakfast table, dining table, when you get together in a group for intervention, and actually make it really hard to obviously contemplate. This obviously makes it for starters of family sufferers. When this happens, however, just as an individual can hurt emotionally, even to the point of becoming physically ill, the family as a unit can become sick as well. But it's normal for the family members to care and look out for one another. Each person may lose sleep as they worry about that troubled family member being codependent, or, you know, using the drugs or alcohol, whatever it may be, basically. And when that happens, sometimes the other family member will try to cover up their behaviour patterns and thoughts and whatever else that they're happening with this user, making excuses along the way for that person, which that has to stop in some ways. We need to be tough and do tough love and actually understand that we need to just let them go and hopefully see if they can get the help they need. They may even blame themselves for the family member's addiction or friend, or turn on their economic dependent family member in anger and frustration, you know, ripping out their hair, starting screaming. Then they'll start probably with the tension rising of all this, basically, then therefore, you know, stress comes in, and then, you know, domestic violence and all that comes into play, and then, you know, it gets all messy, so to speak. They want the problem to go away, yet however, while coping with themselves, they end up changing in the way they react to the member using, as well as to how they relate to each other. Professionals in the field of chemically dependent identify specific roles for family members that take on in this response to another family member using. A few of these roles include, as I'm saying here, we'll address as follows. 1 is the hero, 2 is the rescuer, 3 the scapegoat, 4 the mascot, 5 the lost child. So let's begin. For the roles of these, as I said before. Number 1, the rescuer. This one basically is the one who's always trying to rescue the chemically dependent person and prevents the addict from suffering the full impact of the consequences of his or her using. 2, the hero, which is described as the other ones who's the high achiever who seeks the approval of others and will do their very hardest to be as close to perfect as possible in order to compensate for the chemically dependent family member or friend. Number 3, the scapegoat. This one is the one who draws the attention away from the chemically dependent person by acting out in self-destructive ways, be it like they'll swear, cuss, whatever the case may be. Number 4, the mascot, who's usually usually the family clown and gets a lot of attention by providing comic relief, just to relieve the stress and tension that's going on between the user and themselves, pretty much. His need to create laughs to cover up the pain with his and her own family members. The last one is the lost child. This one is described as, this one does whatever it takes to adjust to any of all circumstances. His or her easygoing nature gives some relief to the family, and he or she has the payoff of escaping notice altogether. The real problem is with assuming a role in these that I've addressed to you all, however, as opposed to being yourself and expressing your true feelings, is that it chips away at your integrity, your self-worth and all the like, your reputation within yourself and the like. So it also stops you or the user from the consequences and the addiction, however. As such, it actually keeps him or her in his or her own cycle for using, thus preventing him or her from reaching bottom, so that he or she can see himself or herself that he doesn't want to continue using. Well, that basically ends part 8 of basically the series of the drug series right now. Basically, give me a thumbs up for support, the thumbs up for the like. Also, as I said before, feel free to comment below so we can create a positive chain going on for people that may be coming on my channel, so that they can see that they're not, you know, alone. So, because like I said, I'm going to create a support network either on my channel on YouTube or via on my SB Answers All page on Facebook, basically, where people can reach out to me, basically either in a way of wanting to talk or connect with me, or just want to private message me for a particular topic that they may feel is of interest, and hopefully may create another awareness and whatnot, because together we can make a difference, obviously, for this change. Follow me on Twitter, also on SB Answers All if you want to follow me, or just do what you can to share the videos with your family and friends. So, and all further ado, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.